Hey everyone, I'm John Gatto, the SID at the University of Scranton, and we continue our Royals Rewind section today with the field hockey team. Obviously, back in November, everybody remembers that the field hockey team won their first landmark conference championship ever, and three members of that team that were a huge part of the Royals winning their first landmark conference championship join us today. Brianna Witt and Gracie McClatchy, two now graduates of the University of Scranton, and Allie Benadon, who will be going into her junior year here in 2020. Guys, welcome. To start off, what have you been doing? Breanna and Gracie, obviously you guys are graduates now. How does that feel?
Gracie, do you want to go? I'll go.
Obviously it's a little weird because we didn't have the whole in-person graduation ceremony, so it's a little not closed out, I guess, but it's an awesome feeling to know that we did get to graduate and our hard work of 4 years did come to an end, and now we just have to look forward to the future. So it's exciting, but
Yeah, I kept saying that since I didn't walk across the stage that I never felt like I did graduate. But then once we got our caps and gowns, I put it on for the first time. I'm like, oh wow, this was real. But yeah, I guess we're ready to start a new life in or a new chapter in our life and everything. So it'll be fun. I'm excited.
Awesome. And Allie, obviously you'll be coming back this year. So just kind of talk about what you've been doing kind of to pass the time as, we continue to kind of stay at home and hunker down through COVID and everything that's going on.
Yeah, so every day I've been running with my friend that plays field hockey at Rowan. So we train together, and then during the day I work at a retirement home / assisted living. It has no cases of COVID so far, so that's a positive. And I basically am a server or busser, but we're not actually the dining room's not open, so we basically put food in a bag and deliver it. It pays, so I like it. And that's pretty much what I've been doing all summer, running and working, hanging out with my dogs.
That sounds like a pretty good summer so far, at least. So we'll go back in time today, back to the fall season for you guys. And just a reminder before we start this, going into the year, you guys obviously 2 years ago in 2018 made it to the championship game and lost. So going into this year, into 2019, the expectations were pretty high. And you guys met those expectations. Went 6-1 in the conference. You clinched the number one seed in the playoffs with a win over Juniata on senior day, 2-1. Juniata always been a kind of a thorn in our side over the years, and to kind of sweep them out of the way in that last game, obviously it was probably a great feeling. But the good times continued in the semifinals. You guys shut out E-Town 3-0 to go back to the championship game. Before we open up the championship game here by sharing my screen, just talk about that game. It was a 3-0 win and really a dominating performance for you guys to get to the championship game and have a chance to host that. So if you guys just want to talk about that game real quick, and then we'll move along.
I think it was a night game, right?
What's that?
Yeah, I think so.
It was during the night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So before that game, I think that there was a part in our season. I think it was the game before senior day, around senior day, where we all kind of just clicked with one another, and we were we could really do this. And I think everyone just started playing well with one another. So I think that kind of led in to the E-Town game, where we really just clicked, and that even showed us more that we could do this and we were ready and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like after that Juniata game, when we did clinch the first seed spot, we just had that momentum going forward that we knew we could do this if we really wanted to. And coming out playing E-Town at a home conference game or playoff game, I guess you should say, we were just so amped and ready to go out on that field and really show we deserve to be in the championship game. And I remember that game, especially towards the end, we were running around like crazy. I remember being so out of breath, but just knowing that we would be playing at home on Saturday made it that much more worth it.
I think I remember that game, Bree. You were running around like crazy, and you were dead, I think, after. And I don't know if it was cold that day, but we all just had so much energy, and we just clicked as a team. And I feel like it started after the Catholic win. Once we beat Catholic, I felt like we had a new amount of confidence as a team as a whole, and we started playing more together. And I think that's what we really needed.
Yeah. As we said, so that Catholic team that you guys beat during the year, Looked like it could have been a rematch in the championship game. They were the number 2 seed, but they lost at home to Susquehanna 2-1. So Susquehanna now was coming to Scranton. Earlier in the year, you guys went down to Selinsgrove and lost 3-0. It was our only conference loss. So kind of, the mindset of the team going into a game where you obviously have hosting a championship game, but at the same time you have an opportunity to get some payback on the team that, really, handled you guys the first time around. So what was the team's mindset going into that Saturday and into that championship game and knowing that you're playing a team that beat you guys 3-0 the first time?
Yeah, I think me and Gracie were kind of discussing this, but we have like kind of different views on everything. So we'll both share, I guess, our different views. But I remember the landmark championship game last year when we lost them. I think we kind of lost badly. I think it was like 3-0 or something. And then this year again, we lost to them 3-0. And I was like, there is no way 3 times in a row they're going to beat us. So I was really confident and excited actually to play them when I found out it was them, because it's really hard to beat a good team 3 times in a row. So I was pumped, and I thought that we could pull it out because of that reason. But then Gracie had the other kind of view, I guess, of it.
I was personally a little scared. I never put that out there, but I was scared just because, I know we were capable of doing it, but in the past, we had just come up short and everything like that. And Susquehanna is a very, they do well on their momentum. So when they get going early, they just build off of it. And sometimes that shakes us a bit. So I was just playing around with any type of scenario in my head that could happen, which kind of made me a little scared, but I would never announce that to anybody, so they never knew. But
yeah, Gracie, I never knew that.
I never said it.
I think for that game, what Bree was saying, Bree was telling me that, because me and Bree used to get lunch together, she would tell me what she just said every single day, and I was like, all right, I guess that makes sense. We can win.
Yeah.
So I think just hearing everybody else's positive views of that we can win and we can do it helps for the mindset.
I have shared my screen, and we have opened the game, the highlights from the championship game. And at this point in the game, it's 0-0. We're about 10 minutes into the game. And you will see here, we're on our end of the field. This end of the field ends up being a really lucky spot for us in this game as we will move along. Right there, Gracie, you score the first goal of the game very early in the contest, 12 minutes into the game. How important was it to get off to a good start in this game?
As I mentioned before, Susquehanna is a very momentum-based team, so we knew that we had to get on the board first and as soon as possible, just so we could shake them up a bit, so we could have the upper hand. And especially with that goalie is very tactic in, being protective of the ball. So when Bree put that ball and the defender missed it, I just knew I had to get it in as soon as possible and hit it and hope it goes in,
Bree, obviously you were, a part of that play, and you kind of got it started. So just talk about that whole sequence there and what was kind of going through your mind once you passed the ball to Gracie and she finished off the deal and gave you guys the early 1-0 lead.
Yeah, like I said before, I was really excited and pumped going into this game. So I wasn't even thinking of the other team at all. I was just going forward. So right when Gracie scored that, I was like, yes, this, told myself that all the feelings of confidence and everything were there. And I knew that we were all just going to feed off of that. So it was a great start.
A few minutes later in the game, about 7 minutes later, we go on the attack again, which we'll see here. So again, moving right to left. Right there, a penalty is called. So anybody that watches, obviously, field hockey a lot, when you guys have these penalty kind of corners or penalty situations, what's the mindset of the team at this point when you know that you potentially have a scoring chance that could put you at multiple goals?
I think it's really important, especially if this is a high-pressure situation, to score, is to keep your composure, because one step to the right or left, the defense can get it. But if you keep your composure, you can come back from that.
I remember this corner too, right here. We've had only practiced that corner that week. It was brand new in like our playbook. And I just knew when that flyer comes out strong, I had to get it right off to Allie as soon as possible. And if you like noticed, I had just missed the defender by like a hair, and I still don't know how I got that off, but thank God I did.
All right, now we're a little bit later into the first half, as you guys see. You guys holding on to that 2-0 lead, and we'll get into a part I really think probably the biggest part of the game. 2-0. Always heard that in soccer term, maybe not so much field hockey term. The 2-0 isn't necessarily the strongest lead to have, but being up 3-0 going into halftime is a huge deal, and it eventually happens at this point in the game. And Allie, you get in on the act here off another penalty corner. We'll see here. And that's it. It is in. So with 38 seconds left or so, we take a 3-0 lead and take that lead into halftime. Allie, you had an assist earlier on the last goal, and to get this goal here at the very, very end of the first half to put us up 3-0. How did that feel at that point?
It felt really good just to keep the momentum going and just to crush Susquehanna's spirits, because that's a very similar situation to what happened to us last year, but the reverse, and we were losing by 3-0. I don't know if it was the first half or beginning of second half. So it felt good to keep upping the score against Susquehanna.
So again, you guys have the lead 3-0 at halftime. 30 minutes to a championship. Up 3-0, and each of you guys can answer this. But the confidence, was your confidence at basically sky high at that point? Or did you still have some apprehension knowing that you're still playing a team that is probably pretty capable of scoring 3 straight goals on you guys?
I remember going into that halftime meetup and discussion that although we were feeling really good, we had scored 3 goals, we scored 3 goals in the first half, which easily they could score 3 in the second. So we were we need to keep playing confident, but still know that anything can happen. So we had to keep pushing forward.
Yeah, I think that at that point, how I was so confident in the beginning, at that point, I'm kind of okay, now we're up. We have to kind of keep this. We can't be the game is over and just think that we have it. So at that point, I think I took a step back, or we all kind of just regrouped and we're all right, let's just play a 0-0 again and just do the same thing we did in the first half.
I think what was important going into the second half was making sure it was more of a passing game. And I think for me, whenever we're up, I try to focus on being more defensive than offensive, and just so they don't get the momentum to go to our side.
Now we are actually in the fourth quarter of the game. The third quarter, pretty pedestrian, no scoring in that third quarter. Right before this, guys, Susquehanna scores a goal very early in the fourth quarter, so it's now a 3-1 game. Not that much time left in the game, but still knowing, okay, they're on the board now, very, very late in this game, early in the fourth quarter. Do you guys at this point know we have to get back on the offensive and maybe not play as much defensive and try to get back up 3 goals and put this away?
So anytime that a team usually scores on us, I usually look over at Bree and kind of just give her the heads up, let's go, let's regroup, we got this. And especially in this game, I looked at Bree and was no way are they coming back right now. Nope, not happening. And then I think we just took that mindset, and then I don't even know, it wasn't that long after that we scored. And I think that just sealed the deal. That put it in the bag, and they were just done after that.
Yeah, I felt more energy right after they scored.
Yeah.
We'll see here on this. So, yeah, you are right, Gracie, that they scored, and it did not take us very long to get back up 3. And you'll see what happens here as they try to move the ball down the field, and we turn them right over. Scrum in the net, and Gracie, you put that away, and we go up 4-1. It's about the 50th minute at this point. When this happened, did you guys pretty much know that it was over?
I think so. I mean, it's really tough for a team that like scores and they're like, yes, okay, we can come back for another team to just score right back on them. And it happens all the time in field hockey, but especially in this game, I think that our confidence level with that just boosted and we were like, let's do this. Let's just keep pushing for the next 10 minutes or so. And I think we knew we got it.
And we could see that they were losing confidence by the end of that game too. Just they were playing to their top game, sloppier. So we took advantage of how they were playing at that point too.
All right, now we're basically at the end of the game. Susquehanna with another penalty corner. They had 13 throughout the course of the game. Defensively, you guys did a great job. Even at this point in the game's is done, it's over. You definitely don't want them to score here, correct?
Definitely not.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I think if they scored, we just had to launch the ball down the field when it was over. But our defense is so well composed in these situations that even when they had the corner, I knew they weren't going to score.
Stopping it there, you hear everybody counting down, and it's over. We win our first Landmark Conference championship ever. You see the entire team running out onto the field and celebrating you guys there on the other goal. Breanna and Grace, I'll start with you guys. Obviously, this was a long climb for you guys to finally win a conference championship. You know, when the clock finally hit zero for both of you, what was going through your mind?
Honestly, it was just like an unreal moment. I was like, oh my God, like we did it. Like even the last few seconds, I wasn't even thinking, oh, like this is going to be the Landmark championship game finish. But then it was. And I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. Like I was just really excited that we all like together as a team. I think this was like a great group of girls to like win it together and everything.
I just remember like for Bree and I senior class, freshman year, we didn't make the playoffs. Sophomore year, we made it to the semis. Junior year, we lost in the finals. And then to come out senior year and win, I think it was just like climbing that ladder. It was just being at the top and really like taking it all in that our hard work paid off, even as like a whole team. But it was just an unreal feeling.
Here we have the trophy presentation at the very end. And at this point, Gracie, you're going to be named the MVP of the tournament. Throughout your career, it was a pretty heralded career at Scranton. This was really the last major award that you won. Describe the feeling of winning this award. Obviously, with everything else, maybe this one was the one that maybe meant the most to you overall.
Yeah, I mean, it was such an honor to get it, but I think going through my head at this point, I was just so proud of my teammates for doing this. Like the amount of hard work that we put in from August to then, even in spring seasons and everything like that, and every lift, to really get that award. I felt like it was more of a team award because without my team, I couldn't have done it. So I think just going through my head was just like such a proud moment to be a part of that team with all the girls.
You see there, guys getting the championship plaque, and I think maybe one of the best videos that I've ever taken is about to happen where hold it up in the air and everyone's just going crazy in front of you guys. So like, you know, really, really cool. I was obviously down in the field with you all and that was going on. It was a very emotional scene. But you know, when did it actually hit you that you guys actually accomplished this and you're Landmark Conference champions? It had to maybe take a little while before it set in.
I think once we got handed the actual T-shirt itself, that like hit me, because I remember last year just seeing all the Susquehanna girls just get the T-shirt and just like hold it up, and I was like, and we were always talking about the T-shirt, and we finally got the T-shirt. That was the moment for me.
I think like really just walking. Well, I guess in that moment when we brought the plaque back, looking up into the stands, we saw like all the past alumni that came to watch, and like my parents and all the families that they were so excited, and just being like, wow, like this was real. And I think we had like a team huddle at the end, and coach was just so proud and happy. And honestly, that was like the best moment, I guess, for me.
Yeah, I think going off of that, what Bree said, like looking into the stands, we have an incredible fan base. Our parents are nuts in the stands. So just like seeing them go crazy and then having all the alumni come back and like watch that game and just seeing how proud they were of this program and of us really, I think, sealed the deal.
I could say for me personally, you know, being at the game, seeing a lot of the former alums, I've only been at Scranton since 2015, but still, I mean, there was a lot of the former alums that I got to know that were there, and to see them, and even after the game, one in particular was like, I wish I was out there. I wish that I was playing today and was out there celebrating this, because when I played, we just came up a little bit short. So it definitely for you guys was, and for the program was such a huge accomplishment. And obviously all of us in the athletics department was so proud of Coach Call and all of you guys for what you were able to pull off. It was really fun to watch throughout the year. But looking back on that, and really the season as a whole, just to overall just sum up everything in a few words if you can.
Yeah, going from our first game in August, I remember as a team we were kind of like, ooh, how's this season going to go? And then coming down to playing in the NCAA tournament, it was really bittersweet, especially as like a senior, to be on that field in that moment. It was just really awesome.
Basically what Gracie was saying, how like from the first game, and all of us were playing new positions. Like I think it was like a new midfield group, kind of like us three forwards didn't really work that much together. We just had a lot of new positions going on. So like in that first game, I remember being like, whoa, like this might not go as what we thought it would have been. And then every game just working and every practice, I just saw all of us putting everything, all we had into it. So I knew that we would just work our way up there, and we did.
Yeah, I feel like this season was more fun, and we put more pressure on ourselves to get to the landmark championship. And I feel like having the goal, and we talked about our goals like every practice, and it was really rewarding this season. So I think just it was fun and rewarding just to play with you guys and to finish it out strong.
All right, well, Gracie and Breanna, obviously you guys are moving on. You're going to be adults now. Good luck with your future endeavors and whatever you guys do. Hopefully we'll see you guys again as alums at a game. I will be there, of course. And Allie, you will be coming back for your junior year. Talk about what's going through your head right now. We don't really know what it's going to look like, but I know that you must be really looking forward to getting back here to Northeastern Pennsylvania and to the University of Scranton once we're able to.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen this fall, but I'm training like there's going to be a season. And even if we don't have a season, maybe there'll be a spring season, but at least we're coming out and we're still the standing champion, so that's something. But I think just whatever happens, nothing we can do about it, but we're just still keeping the team. I don't know. It's hard to say stuff with everything going on, but I think just if everybody keeps up their training and a positive mindset, that'll help whenever we start the training sessions.
All right, Breanna, Allie, Gracie, thank you. And we'll see you down the road, okay?
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.